The man in the red hat who promised America affordability, secured borders, and jobs for Americans by Americans has turned the country not just into quote-unquote a great nation again, but into one of the hottest economies. He has slapped tariffs on top nations left, right and center to force investments back onto American soil. An audacious business move the White House proudly boasts about. Yet alongside all the so-called chaotic achievements he claims, ranging from stopping wars to solving the jobs crisis, since the man in the red hat came into power, the resurfacing of the old Epstein files has been haunting him ever since. This lore casts a dark shadow over his great American dream, and if anything, this isn't your usual left-wing tall poppy syndrome. Since returning to power, if there is one thing that has remained consistent about Trump, it is his vehement denial about any connection to Epstein.
What did Jeffrey Epstein mean in his emails when he said you knew about the girls?
I know nothing about that. They would have announced that a long time ago. It's really, what did he mean when he spent all the time with Bill Clinton, with the president of Harvard, who you know, who that is, Summers, Larry Summers, whatever his name is, and all of the other people that he spent time with. Jeffrey Epstein and I had a very bad relationship for many years. But he also saw strength because I was president. So he dictated a couple of memos to himself. Give me a break. You got to find out, what did he know with respect to Bill Clinton, with respect to the head of Harvard.
The cracks were beginning to show when the right-wing titan techie Elon Musk, once again seen as Trump's protege, suddenly fell out of orbit. And now, the far-right Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene has launched a series of scathing attacks against Trump over the Epstein files. This doesn't seem like falling shards of cards.
I think the Epstein situation is very serious because the underlying principle of a democracy is equal justice under law. You cannot use the law to help your friends, reward your friends, and punish your enemies. And yet that seems to be the way in which President Trump is viewing this investigation. The other great principle which goes to the heart of democracy is transparency. And transparency is necessary for an informed electorate so they can make decisions about their leadership, about policies, and about directions.
This feels like a bigger mutiny, the kind that only erupts when a major power shift is underway.
Listen, there is no historic proximity for President Trump's name to the Epstein file because it is known for the American people that President Trump he has nothing to do with whatever we talk about the Epstein files. The abuse that has happened in the Epstein files, President Trump's name is never ever associated with that particular case. Yes, of course, Epstein has mentioned President Trump's name, but that is not in regards to the sexual scandal that has happened in the island. So that is ruled out. There is no question that his name is not directly associated with this particular case. Yes, of course, there may be Republican lawmakers or Republican leaders' names there. So yes, let it come out. Let it come out and let's see who was involved in that. And that's what the American people wanted to see.
While the Trump White House has taken immense pride in representing itself as fair and transparent on issues concerning the Americans.
We're working around the clock to ensure that justice is served, and also as part of the oversight to figure out why justice has been delayed for so long. All credible information we will ensure is released to the public, and we also, at the same time, are fulfilling our responsibility to protect the innocent victims. The bipartisan House Oversight Committee is already accomplishing what the discharge petition, that gambit, sought, and much more.
But the cabinet's posturing around Epstein-Trump row has been singularly consistent. This is a Democrat-manufactured conspiracy.
I do think that the Epstein files are a bipartisan issue. The entire Democratic side of Congress is voting to release the files. Last time I checked, we have about 4 to 5 Republicans that are also voting to agree to release the files. We have some very prominent voices, including Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's been a big supporter of President Trump. But what I do think this moment shows is that Democrats are all open for transparency and accountability. If there are Democratic elected officials, donors, anyone associated with the Democratic Party that is in the Epstein files, they deserve to be investigated and outed. So it shows accountability and transparency on our side. My concern is that by only having 4 Republicans vote to release the files, it makes the Republican Party look like they are providing cover to Jeffrey Epstein, who was a known pedophile. But I think we need Republicans to take a stand and say the same thing on their side, that if there's anyone in the Republican Party that is engaged in pedophilia and the trafficking of young women and young girls and have any attachment to Jeffrey Epstein, they need to be investigated as well.
The Republican Party doesn't need any more opportunity, any more political opportunity, because Democrats have failed the people of the U.S. The last 45 days of the shutdown, the Schumer shutdown, shows that they failed the people of the common people of the United States. They don't care for the people. They don't care for the common people of the United States. They care for the big donors. They care for the big liberal deep state. That's what they care for. Whereas President Trump and the GOP-controlled Congress and the Senate, they care for the American people. We wanted the government to be reopened. So let's talk about the 2026 midterms. Nothing is going to happen for the GOP side, because we are going to have a sweep win. There is no doubt about it, because Democrats have proved that they have nothing to do with the better choices and the better option for the people. They just want to distribute everything for the illegal criminals. They wanted to distribute everything for the people who doesn't have anything to do with the United States. But we care for the veterans. We care for the people who work hard, and the GOP and President Trump care for the people who burn their life, who wanted to build a family. That's where we wanted to give the insurance. That's where we wanted to. That's why he's saying that the SNAP benefits is not going to be free anymore. If you have to prove that you are not able to work, as they're going to get the benefits. So talking about 2026, we don't need any more political opportunity. The nation is going to stand with the President of the United States. The nation knows what he did for last 8 or 10 months. So it's going to continue. Midterm is going to be a sweep victory for the Republican Party.
With the 2026 midterms approaching, the files, the leaks, and Trump's name appearing across scattered communications only deepen the shadow, darker, heavier, and impossible to ignore. Is this a true test of Trump's transparency, or a conspiracy engineered by the Democrats? Which narrative will capture the nation and define America's next chapter? The world is looking forward to it as US Congress rallies for a crucial vote.